Hello there. So, we're all being guilt-tripped once again into complying with government orders. And this time, it's all about the flu. If we don't queue up at the surgeries and roll up our kiddies' sleeves, then we will be killing Granny, they tell us. Forget what's in it. Just think about Granny and about how guilty you'll feel if she succumbs to the flu this winter. And if we don't wear the face coverings again, we'll be killing each other, we're told. Here we go again. And why? Because the wards are overflowing with a new super strain that is making everyone ill, or at least 90% of the cases are caused by it. What do you reckon about all this, Richard?
Hello, Jeff. Yes. Okay, and here we go again. Yep. Just like where we were in 2020 when our young had to sacrifice their normal development schooling. They had to sacrifice their immune systems, normal immune system development. And, all under the pretense of protecting their families and Granny, etc. The guilt placed upon them then, back in 2020, and being placed probably upon them now, is nothing short of pure evil. So please don't threaten our sons and daughters again with this dangerous, manipulative rhetoric. What they are pushing in the NHS with these so-called recommendations is a perverse inversion of the natural order of things, Jeff. The duty of care that instinctively belongs to adults is being placed onto the shoulders of our youngest, once again, okay? And these animals pushing this are trying to present it as normality. Sorry, it's not. Children first. The Telegraph, it spells it out without shame, really. The flu numbers in schools are going up and used as leverage, against our children, our sons and daughters, painted as, they're and branded as like these super spreaders, as if they're, ooh, look out, little Johnny's going to come around here. Oh, keep away, little Johnny. No, you're a super spreader. Oh, hello, Grandma. No, you're a super spreader. Keep back. Yeah, their natural immune development is not only disregarded here, it is being treated or framed as something that is dangerous. Okay? So, I'm sorry. We have seen this sort of use of manipulation and guilt before, with the usual comply or Grandma won't sort of see Christmas narrative. Let's be blunt here. This is emotional pressure aimed straight at families and not, I repeat, not honest guidance. In my opinion, I'm no medical expert though, so don't listen to me under any circumstances. And of course, just like last time, schools are dragged into the whole thing. With talk of these fire break closures. Do you remember those? And, events like your school plays, your nativity plays. Not that we have nativity plays in Britain very much these days anyway. And it's all tied back to the behaviours of our young as if they are the nation's failures. All this has been pushed, this pressure has been placed on the shoulders of our young. And that is the red line. A country cannot use its own future, which is our children, as a shield for its institutions, which is what this is. This is an institutional shield protecting the NHS. Do you remember that bull? Protect the NHS. Oh, stay at home, protect the NHS. Yes.
Flatten the curve. Yeah.
It's just very simple. Don't threaten our sons and daughters. Their place is to be protected and not to protect us. That's all I've got to say on that bit for now, Jeff.
As a Fenner says here, if they cared about children so much, why don't they protect them from the gangs? Well, they don't, do they?
Oh, in the words of Sadiq Khan, what gangs? What are you talking about?
Well, what gangs? Yeah.
What gangs?
What gangs?
Yeah, go on, spell it out.
I've read some conflicting reports about this. One of the causes, I've been told, about this current flu epidemic is because not enough people have been rolling their sleeves up. It's all their fault. So we've got this epidemic. But when you look a little bit deeper, you find out something else. And the other is that when the worldwide annual meeting of doctors chose the type of flu to target, which they do every year, under the auspices of the WHO, they do this. The trouble is, the subclass K variant hadn't yet emerged, to the point it makes rolling up your sleeves less effective because of that. But they still insist on your offspring taking it to protect Granny. Now, if this K variant suddenly appeared, then we're fighting this thing, we're trying to fight this thing with chemicals and not natural herd immunity. And I don't know where that ends, really. It just seems a bit, I mean, I can understand it for the elderly. I really can. But youngsters putting this, I don't want that. I don't want to see that.
No, not at all. Not at all. Our children, our young, need to have their own immune systems develop naturally so that they might not succumb to illness in the future. Each time a child gets ill, its immune system gets a workout. It's like going to the gym. It's like any of us. If we stop getting ill and our immune system is suppressed, then guess what happens to us when we do encounter something a little bit tasty, we'll say. Yeah. No, I don't want that for our children. I mean, years ago, people used to have these measles and chickenpox parties so that your kids could catch it. I'm not saying that was a good thing. I'm not saying that was good advice. I'm just saying that's the way it was. Okay? That was the way things used to be. And of course, my opinion on this is just my opinion. There's no fact involved here. Oh, no. I'm not a medical expert, and I would never speak out against the NHS. But what I will say is certain rhetoric is evil. To place guilt upon children is evil. And that is the point of this, of course, just to say that. With nothing else they're doing is evil, just to place the guilt. Yes. Jeff?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, and talk about guilt tripping, or maybe this is a very effective way to build compliance in from an early age. Get them used to it every year. That's a scary thought as well, isn't it? Because you just don't know what it's going to do to people. Have they done any? Well, this is a long-term trial, really, isn't it? It's what it seems to me.
Yeah.
These things get put out every single year. They're all different. Every year, these things are different.
Well, we've had long-term trials going for a very long time. The immune system, the human immune system, has been undergoing a long-term trial, the human immune system, for a very long time. It's been going on, since Adam and Eve, I think, probably. That's about as long as that trial's been going on. And it seems to have done pretty well, considering that we're all here and that you're here watching this, thanks to our immune system. Now, that's not to say there aren't some nasty things out there and you shouldn't go taking any medication whatsoever presented by the government, because we do know that all medication and things that are approved through our safety and regulatory bodies is to be 100% trusted. And we know this because we know this.
Because we're told.
Yes, well, we were told.
And you can't say anything against it because you'll go to prison. No. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You get cancelled if you say anything against it. In Germany, they have sent people to prison for doctors to prison for taking an opposing view, haven't they? Oh, so they must be right, mustn't they? Thank you to Civil Defence UK. Good afternoon, gents and chat. Just say no to anything this government tells you to wear or do. Now, that to me probably is the most sensible advice I've had today. But that's just me. And Jonathan Aldridge, I heard from Gobster Talks about things that this whole flu epidemic is manufactured. That can't possibly be true, can it?
Oh,
really?
no, it must be that's conspiracy theory. No. We can't be having any of that talk. What's his name? Gobster Talks. Yes, nobody look at Gobster Talks. Nobody take a look at that under any circumstances. Yes,
no, don't go there. Don't go there after this is finished and watch it. Just
do not do that. Yeah, or anywhere else that might present sort of those kinds of narratives. We don't want to hear or read any of that, do we? Absolutely not, Jeff. No. Carry on, Jeff.
Yes. And thank you, John Davies. If it worked, herd immunity would be irrelevant. Yeah, it's this is the whole thing, isn't it? It's our we should be making ways of developing the human immune system, not trying to get a paid way of
that's a good
getting
idea,
people
Jeff.
to let's just think about this. Let's stand back from the problem. What would you rather have? Some way of naturally protecting yourself, or get a bunch of chemists to get together to have to, at great expense and great profit to them, give you something every year.
I think you're on something
which would be
Jeff.
the preferred way of doing this. The trouble is, you see, there's no money in natural herd immunity.
Well, one of the ways I suppose they could do it is to make sure that people had the correct amount of nutrients, which can only be found, incidentally, in red meat, specifically in cow and lamb. You know, cow and lamb, cow and sheep. Beef and lamb, whatever you want to call it. That's interesting. That all the nutrients that you actually need to survive are there. From what I can gather, bar none. People say go about vitamin C, except when you're on a very low, if not zero, carbohydrate intake. Vitamin C apparently is not so much needed, but I don't know. I'm not an expert, so don't listen to me. For goodness sake, do not listen to me on anything. No, but I mean, yes, boosting the immune system with a proper natural diet. That's a great idea, Jeff.
It'll never catch on because there's no money in it. There's no money in it.
No,
it won't catch on.
No. We can't be.
Unless,
in that
of course,
case, yes.
Richard, the government are doing that because they want us to stop eating horrible natural things like beef and horrible natural things like lamb and anything else you can think of, like vegetables, whatever it might be. They want us to eat bugs that are made in a bug house and then mixed with chemicals into Frankenstein meats that are made specially, just like the medicines are.
I'm not so sure the vegetables
that's
though,
gonna
Jeff,
work,
are
do
good.
you?
I'm not so sure the vegetables are good for us anyway. I mean, I watched that.
Yeah, I knew you would say that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I watched.
Yeah.
There are some very interesting things like plants are trying to kill you. That's a very good video worth watching. That is
Day of the Triffids.
And I can also, well, on a serious note here, though, Jeff, I can speak from first-hand experience that, as soon as I myself eat a vegetable, I'm ill. I mean, I'm ill. Today, I've got a skin flare-up. That's after one tomato. One tomato, bang. And you might think, oh, that's just you, though. That's just you. I don't get that. And thinking, no. I'm hypersensitive, one of many people who's very sensitive to certain foods. But it doesn't mean that it's not having an impact on you. It's more visible with me. In some ways, that's a good thing. Hey, my body tells me, don't eat that. And that's one of the things we don't have today.
Yeah, the trouble is, ladies and gentlemen,
tomato
he keeps on telling me this, and then he has another tomato.
Yeah, whatever. Somebody just says, is a tomato a plant? Well, a vegetable? Well, it's a fruit. Same thing, just plant life, we'll call it plant life. Just no good for you. No good for you at all. Except seasonally and occasionally. Yep, honey as well. Give us back the bees. Honey's, again, not the best for you, but seasonally. So it's this thing about seasonality. Yes, eat seasonally, eat occasionally. What did our answer? What did our hang on, Jeff?
Yeah, sorry,
Jeff,
Richard.
No.
Yeah.
How did our ancestors used to eat? Did our ancestors used to eat vegetables every day, plant life every day? No, they didn't. Have you ever seen a cave painting of a salad? No, Jeff.
Yes. Now I've lost my train of thought on that one. I've never seen a salad. I'll have to look now. Go into a cave and see if I've had a painting. I'll go and find one.
Yes, I know.
It's quite funny you should say that. But one thing does leap to mind is that when you think about it, gorse bushes are actually carnivorous. Because have you ever seen a sheep trapped in heavy gorse? It can't get out. And in the end, it just dies there and feeds the plant. Yeah. So, yeah.
So one question here. If Richard is a carnivore, actually, I'm mostly lion diet. When I do, I don't get skin like this. I don't feel as unhealthy as this. I look a lot better and healthier. As soon as I step off that, I'm ill. Like a lot of people, like Jordan Peterson, even though Jordan's not very well at the moment, his daughter Michaela, again, somebody who's cannot eat anything other than red meat. Basically, that's it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Carry on, Jeff. We've really got off topic.
Yes, we have. But Lee says, I never even used to wear a face covering. Always tickled me when I walked into a shop and people scattered. Yeah, the first day it happened, I had to go into to town, and some people were coming out of a shop that I wanted to go in. I stepped back and she screamed, 2 meters, 2 meters, 2 meters at me. And I was, we're in the fresh air. The wind's blowing nicely. Everything's going to disappear and dissipate. Don't worry. But she was pointing and screeching and bringing her hubby out as if I had the old bell, ding, ding, and
I had some,
all the rest of it.
Guys shouting at me.
It was great. Yeah. And then someone, all you had to do was walk into a shop in the queue, 2 meters all the way. And if you sneezed, it was like pandemonium, It was just absolutely unbelievable. But when you did get in there, I do remember within a few days, everybody was just pushing in front of everybody, just like they do in a shop, to get the stuff off the shelves. The 2 meters sort of disappeared while you're in there trying to get...
It was a load of nonsense. I'm sorry, it was a load of nonsense. It was just rubbish. This mask thing, we were told at the beginning of the pandemic that they didn't prevent viruses from spreading. That's what we were told. Anthony Fauci said that. Okay? Yeah, and also, I can't remember, I think it was one of our health chappies, one of our lot said, oh, no, masks, they won't stop it. I thought, okay, so masks won't stop it. Then they say, wear masks, double wear masks. You used to get those very special kind of people. Do you remember them? They used to be like double masked in a car by themselves. They'd be in the car driving with 2 masks on. I thought, what is the matter with you? And it was almost like they were proud to look at me. People changed their Facebook profile pics. No, they changed their Facebook profile pics to them wearing a f***ing mask. And then said, I've had my jibbery jabbery off. Yeah, go on.
If they're in their car with 2 masks, they're saving themselves twice. What's wrong with that? And Bike Ready says all the gullibles will be loving this. It gives them a chance to get the pans and spoons out on a Thursday at 8 p.m. Oh, they'll be loving it. Ding, 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 and all the rest of it. Oh, yes. Absolutely fantastic. I tell you what, people will be coming back. We'll be looking back in years to come, and they'll just be aghast at what we did. Anyway.
We are aghast at what we did.
We're not allowed to say anything bad about it, though, are we, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, I think we can criticise it now, apparently. I mean, if you actually look at those, Oh, press the mute button then. Do you remember the, whatchamacallit? Good Morning with Phil and whatever, Phil Schofield, wasn't it? Yeah. And there are those plastic things which you could hug people with. You put your arms through and you could hug people. I thought, isn't this wonderful? I was looking and thinking, it's just, what? What? And then, the thing was, we were guilt-tripped, though, into having this medical intervention because if you didn't, it would harm your grandparents or your parents. And if you didn't, that was even... And, I mean, that was pretty intense psychological warfare. And we know that the nudge units were out on that one. We've been told that, pretty much. But then Boris Johnson, whilst he was still Prime Minister, came out later and said, oh, yes, if you have the cough syrup in the arm, it won't prevent you from spreading the illness. I thought, what? What? Did you just say that? All these people, I know so many people who took that just because it would protect their parents and their grandparents. I thought, we've been had. I mean, I didn't partake in the cough syrup, neither did Jeff. But, I mean, sorry. There we go. Carry on, Jeff.
Yes, and thank you, John Davies. Doc never tells you second effect of natural immunity. I'm not sure what the second effect of natural immunity is. I had a quick Google of it while I was listening to Richard.
That's an
so
interesting
you'll
one.
have to enlighten me.
Yes,
So,
enlighten us on that there, John Davis, please.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So, anyway, beef and lamb. Well, yes, I like beef and lamb. I like lamb especially. Well cooked, well, properly cooked, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, but you don't get the real stuff done in England. You don't. I've tried it. It's just, you don't. It's rubbish compared to the Welsh.
As far as Richard's concerned, the only good meat comes from Wales. Yeah, unbelievable.
Well, I will extend it to a little bit of Herefordshire as well. There's some pretty damn good meat coming from there as well. You know, you get Herefordshire.
That's the
Blackheath,
only part of England he tolerates.
Yes. 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 Damn it. I've eaten across England, and you haven't got the same quality. Oh, and there's a couple of farmers out there from Yorkshire going, right then, I'm unsubscribing.
I will be setting the English farmers on you, don't worry. Yes. Never take medical advice from a... Yeah, never take medical advice from a political party, says Olio. Yeah, political parties. It's all about them, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yeah, this is a good point. In the past, when I was a kid, this used to be the advice, didn't it? Go home until you feel better. You know, that seems to be it. You know.
But you can't feel better.
He's coughed. He's coughed.
Yeah, you can't feel better unless you've had your arm intervention cough syrup. Yes, this cough thing, it's a funny thing. When you get a cold and the flu, which I've just had, one of the things you can get is a cough, and eventually the cough goes away. It's like, wow. I mean, it doesn't for everybody.
All on its own.
Well, apparently so. Apparently so. I mean, I know it.
No.
I think it's conspiracy theory. I do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Jabberwocky has been appearing at night. Like the tooth fairy, you know?
Yeah. You've got the tooth fairy. You've got the arm injected cough syrup fairy. Okay.
Yes, a cunning linguistics. Thank you very much. What a movie! Carry on, Jeff. Yes, okay. Yes.
I would pay good money for
that. This is a good question, and the answer to that will be yes.
Oh yeah, well they'd have to just to make sure that. Well, I don't know. Would they? It might be against their. It might be offensive to them. They might find it offensive, so maybe they won't. Who knows on that one? Yeah.
Well, I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. My nan said when she had a cold, she used to kiss me when I was a boy for my immune system. Yeah,
that's
that's
the
part
way
of this whole.
That's the way it used to go. I mean, my father was a pharmacist. My late father, God rest his soul, and my late mother was, and they both were very weary of what they took. I mean, they drank like fish. Right? Okay. And my father died young because of it. God rest his soul. And my mother was disabled because of too much drinking as well. So that's another story. But when he was dying in hospital, my father, when the pharmacist would come, and he was quite knowledgeable, my late father, when they would come round to administer him with drugs, he'd be like, no, I'm not taking that. No, you're not giving me that. And this is when he was dying. He said, no, don't give me that. You said, go back and write me a script for that. That's what he would say. And if you want to do me any favors, and that's the way it was. And unfortunately, it was too late for him. But yeah, that's the thing, though. You know, the people who know about what drugs do to you tend not to have them so readily. Quite interesting. There we go.
Yeah, you got to remember that. Was it the NHS were basically? Do you remember the health secretary at the time? Was it Sajid Javid? Walked in and said, "Whoa, isn't it wonderful that you're all going to have to take it?" And they all looked at each other. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Do you remember Sajid Javid, that one reporter? He was saying, he said there was a queue there, and he said, the reporter said, we're queuing up watching people getting their second vaccination. And Savage Jeff said to him, have you had your second vaccination? The reporter's like, no. He said, come with me, come on. No, I'll get you in. He said, well, I haven't got anything. He said, no, don't worry about that. I'll get you a second jab. You know, I thought, it was almost like he was coercing. He was coercing that journalist to have that second, that second jab. Who is this person?
Experimental thing. Yeah.
Yeah, this person.
Now,
Say,
Peter Bustin says here.
Love it.
Yeah. Peter Bustin says, these comments are a joke. There would be far more people in hospital if it wasn't for it. It works. Now, I would say it works for older people, yes. But I can't see, young people weren't even affected. The stats are out. The stats are there. From what I've seen, and the experts tell me, is that youngsters don't need this stuff. I don't know. I'm just an ordinary guy. I look at these stats and I'm wondering,
why should youngsters take it? Why should they? To protect the elderly? Why? Sorry, no. I sorry. Youngsters have, we're going to get a lot more youngsters in hospital. Now, if there was something around like the Spanish flu, which did disproportionately affect youngsters, people who are younger, then maybe there's an argument here. But we're talking about the common flu. Two different things altogether.
Yeah. Anyway, talking about food, Barb Mac says, bug meat might walk off your plate. And that always reminds me of Mowgli in the Jungle Book. The cartoon when Baloo was showing him how to eat ants, and the ants were all over his arm and he was trying to catch one. That's really funny, brilliant. That's exactly what it would be like.
We've got to get Jeff to a bug farm. We've got. I think there's a restaurant down by St David's or somewhere in West Wales in Pembrokeshire. We've got to get you down there, Jeff. Yeah.
Oh, look, this is a good one. A glass of brandy, says Eric Sania. A glass of brandy and 50 press-ups cures everything.
That sounds about
except
bloody
maybe
right.
broken arms. Not sure about curing broken arms. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of people. At the end of the day, this for me is a big guilt trip to try and get people to take it. Now, they can argue that we're doing it for your best intentions at heart and all the rest of it. But I keep coming back to this thing. Why is everything just about putting something inside you to supposedly fight this stuff, but they have to choose it every year with great care? And if they miss something, there was 2018, I think they had a high level of deaths, and they got the strain wrong. They targeted the wrong strain or something. I can't remember the exact details. But if that's what it relies, why not get round and let's have some real severe research into actually boosting people's innate internal ability to fight these things. That's what we need, and that's talking about proper food coming into you all the time. Yeah.
Didn't they find that there was a disproportionate amount of people who were in hospital during the pandemic who were deficient in one specific vitamin? Was it vitamin E or vitamin D? It wasn't vitamin
D.
C. I can't remember. It was D, was it? I can't quite remember.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it probably was. But, oh my goodness,
But that's the one vitamin, when asked, the previous, Hancock said there was a trial when there wasn't, I think, about vitamin D on all this, and the whole thing, you see, Dr. Campbell talked about this. He said there should be proper expensive trials into ordinary vitamins that you get, ordinary stuff that is cheap, that is there, but there's no money in it. So if you invest in a big trial into these things, you'll never get any money back because you can't make enough money out of nature. The only other way they can do it, which they've tried before and failed, is to trademark nature. Copyright it in law for them. I own that bit of nature, and if you use that bit of nature, like eat an apple, then we can charge you the earth for it. That's the only way they would ever agree to it. And that's what really worries me, is just follow the money every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and this is good. Gary says, They say red meat is trash because they don't want us eating it. Yes, absolutely. You know, never mind. Wisdom Nuggets and Tidbit says he refused his for COVID. Thank the Lord I did not lose my job. When I was born in the late 60s, the push in the USA to give nursing mothers some stuff had serious effects on babies. My mother blatantly refused, and I am in the right mind today. And you always get back to that awful case of thalidomide, don't you?
Yeah. I got a friend who's got, who has that, and lovely chap.
Yeah.
God bless him, and everyone else who has that. This was again because of a medical intervention which was apparently safe and effective. There we go. It passed the regulatory bodies
and the Black
was
Nothing
on the market.
Points out that RFK Jr. is 71 and can do 20 pull-ups, no issue. The RFK Jr. being the is he the health secretary for the US?
He's the equivalent of
with some
yes,
with some
a bigger
novel
mandate than
ideas. Yeah, and what I want to say is that there's other guilt trips out there as well. This seems to be flavour of the month. In fact, it's been flavour of the month for quite a long time now. If you want the people to do something, guilt trip them into it. And here's another guilt trip that we'll see coming our way shortly, because it just gets worse on the French beaches. The Telegraph recounts the story of a Rochdale builder going undercover into the French illegal migrant camps and finding a veritable hellhole. His name is Christian Drogan, and he decided to go to the French beaches disguised as an illegal immigrant to try and work out for himself the truth of this conveyor belt of humanity flooding into the UK. And what did he find? Believe it or not, dead bodies on the beaches. Complicity by the gendarmerie. I mean, there was even a picture of one of them on the bus with all these people, and they're getting ferried about basically free. And the non-governmental organisations that operate with them. And there are also threats of violence and a tiered set of camps. Tiered, so one had nothing and one had electricity laid on, depending on how much you're able to pay. Although that's where the paid-for nature of this whole saga seems to unravel. I mean, this is some of what he said, or some of what the Tory Graph said in their piece, because they observed the downtrodden, or he observed the downtrodden people around him, and began to wonder, how can these people be able to afford this 1,500 quid fare for these crossings? And the simple answer, he says, is that they can't. Many have little more than what they're wearing, and they are wholly reliant on the handouts from these NGOs that are propping up the camps. And in many of the countries they come from, that 1,500 quid is more than the average annual salary for where they are. And it's like, he said, it's like asking hard-pressed Brits to stump up 35 grand for the honour. 35 grand. I want 35 grand to put you in a rubber boat to get into the UK. That's the equivalent. And that money, remember, is supposedly to pay for the last and very short leg of a very long and arduous journey. What did the rest cost? And if those people are so poor, how could they afford any of it? So that tells me, as far as I'm concerned, they're being paid all the way and facilitated all the way, either by government, either by NGO, or by both. And who do you believe? Danny Tomo, Nick Tenconi, or Christian Drogan? They've all said slightly different things. Danny Tomo talks about there being no gangs. Nick Tenconi hints at there being gangs, but Christian Drogan said there are gangs because he hears gunfire, hears of threats against him, and you just don't know where to go. And no wonder a growing body... Yeah.
I'm not so sure about the gangs part of it, you see.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They could have these weapons. They could be funded gangs. They don't have to be actual gangs that are funded by the actual asylum seekers and refugees, if you see what I'm saying. These could be funded from elsewhere. NGO funded gangs. I mean, collusion. We don't know. We don't know. All we do know is that they're very obvious and easy to find. Everyone across these organizations and everything that has this infrastructure in place to facilitate these people to come across the channel, it's all very easy to locate and find. Yet, the French authorities, with all the money we're giving them, can't seem to put an end to it. They think these people can get on buses without paying to get to the beaches, but they can't stop them. I'm sorry, something doesn't add up, Jeff. And this is why you've got people like Danny Tomo and Nick Tenconi out in France, doing what they're doing what... I'm not saying I support it or condone it. No. Of course I don't. I wouldn't be saying that for a moment. Would I, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, no, not for 1 second would I be doing that. In fact, I most certainly wouldn't be highly praising of them. Oh, my days. Never. Not in a month of Sundays would that happen. However, this is a state we're in where people are leaving Britain to go across to France to try and ensure the safety of the people of Britain, of their children, their families. And here's another thing. We started this talking about the NHS and flus and bugs and viruses. Now then, what about, do these people coming across, are they being checked to see if they have any strange diseases at all, or what their health situation is?
Yes, they are, Richard. That is the whole point of the hotels being absolutely full of doctors all the time, to make sure they haven't got any of this. That's why they get driven hundreds of miles in taxis up until recently to visit doctors to make sure they haven't got any of these. This is the excuse the doctors use. And it's all got to be at public expense. It's all got to be done so that when the people come here, we can protect ourselves from what they've got. Is that racist to assume that they've all got weird bugs? I don't know.
Oh, it must be, Jeff. Yes. But wouldn't it be better if they just stopped them coming over in the first place? That way, then people wouldn't be potentially exposed to all these nasty bugs and viruses. I mean, I don't know, call me old-fashioned, but there we go.
Yeah. Anyway, the point of what I was saying is, because of this disparity between these claims that they're paying loads of money and the fact that they haven't got any money, no wonder there's a growing body of opinion that believes this is purely sectarian in nature, to bring in as many fighting aged men of a certain demographic into the West and therefore into the UK as possible, paid for by some very unpleasant and highly religiously minded fanatics. Now, the press say they're kept out of Gaza by the IDF, don't they? That's what they say. Well, it's all too dangerous to go into Gaza, says the IDF, but we want to go in there to hold them to account. So why aren't they going into the French Gaza of the illegal migrant camps to find out what's going on themselves? Yes, and now we find that females in the camps are required to do favours for the men, or carry illicit substances within their stomachs to get into the UK. Now, this will be used by the left, and it's used within their NGOs, their non-governmental organisation, on everything. Oh, look at what an awful place to be. Surely they should all just be put on a ferry and brought to Britain. They will always frame this in a way to guilt trip the rest of us into providing all the money and transport we can get to get them here. To the only safe country on the planet, it seems, the UK. How wonderful we are. The rest of the planet... It's funny, isn't it? The rest of the planet is horrible until people get here, and then we're horrible. Where is all this coming from if it's not lying, obfuscation, political shenanigans? We just want to get on with our lives in the UK. Other people seem to have another agenda. Anyway... James Jameson says, ooh, Matt Hancock, ooh, he's evil, he says. Oh, yes. Well, there you go. Andrew
Well, I
Bridges
mean,
having...
well,
Yeah.
yes. Yes, Bridget's having a bit of a time with that, or with
Yeah.
Mr. Hancock. Yes.
Yes.
I do recall though that during the was it during it was I'm sure he kept the rules, mind, but I do know that Matt Hancock went canoeing in Hay-on-Wye around the times of the lockdowns and stuff. Yes, he did a bit of canoeing. He did. That was rather interesting.
Did he? Oh, yes. Yes. Very interesting. Yes.
So, Richard, I see the government of Wales has just given 350,000 pounds to help with the energy costs, not of the mosques, but the good people of Wales can freeze. Oh, okay. Goodness knows what's going on with the Welsh government right now. Priorities seem to be a little bit skewed, to say the least. The people of Wales are not happy. If you want to know what a truly terrible NHS looks like, please come to Wales. It's a leading light and shining example of how not to run a health service. There we go. And here we go, John Davis. Yeah. Yes, his reply here. Second effect of an immune system assists against shingles later in life. Yes, very much so, apparently. Is it chicken pox, I believe? If you have chicken pox a few times younger on in life, a few times in life, that you're protected against shingles. I'm not entirely sure. I think it was. Maybe that's an old wives' tale, as they say. Who knows?
Yes.
Sorry, JF, so I have to pick this one up. JFP45 in Mid Wales, it's even worse. Yes, I know. Yes, trust me, I know. Brecon Hospitals, A&E doesn't exist. I'm not sure Mid Wales, I don't believe, actually has an accident and emergency unit at all now. At all. I can't think of one. Is there one? I mean, your nearest one is Hereford, I think, which isn't in Wales. You have Prince Charles Hospital, you have Aberystwyth, I think it would be the nearest, but again, that's on the west coast. But Mid Wales, no, there is no A&E. Think about that, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the size of Mid Wales. There isn't an accident and emergency unit there. Think about that for a moment. And incidentally, there's one we used to have. No, we have to use Shrewsbury. Yes, Shrewsbury, that's another one. Again, in England. It's bloody awful. It really is. You know, people have to travel a long way for hours to get to an A&E department here. And it's absolutely crazy. And also, incidentally, I remember Brecon Hospital, their minor injuries unit now, I think, shuts at either 10 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night. It's not open all through the night. And that's life and death. Okay? Yet there is money available for powers to put up people of a certain demographic. Okay. All right. There we go, Jeff.
Yes. Now, I'm going to continue this theme of guilt tripping, because they've tried to guilt trip us to take kiddies to the surgery. They'll be guilt tripping, oh, the camps are so bad, we have to open the borders wider, blah, because everybody's suffering around the planet and we're the only place they can get any safety and all that sort of thing. That's if that's what they're coming here for, which I very much doubt. And now we have the Palestine Action activists on hunger strike in prison as they await their court hearings. And the pro-Pali mob and their useful idiots are now claiming that these people must be freed on bail before, wait for it, British nationals die in prison. With their lawyers saying the following. We note with genuine and significant concern the immediate and real risk that their deeply held conviction, in tandem with their deteriorating health, poses to their lives. We are concerned that, should this situation be allowed to continue without resolution, there is the real and increasingly likely potential that young British citizens will die in prison, having never even been convicted of an offence. Failing to admit, of course, that they are in prison on remand, waiting for a trial. And the reason they're on remand, basically, is because of the nature of the crimes they are said to have committed. And that is the real cause why they're in prison still. Can you imagine the public mood if they were released and were so dedicated to their cause that they repeated their crimes? Can you imagine the outcry over that? And I wonder if these lawyers had any sympathy for Peter Lynch, Lucy Connolly, and Tommy Robinson, who were not imprisoned for violence against the state. As far as I'm concerned, they're better off inside for a jury to determine down the line. But maybe under the new court rules coming in, they won't get a jury trial. And in that case, I'll give them the same sympathy they would give to those who support Israel. Remember, if they are prepared to sacrifice themselves, what else would they be prepared to do for their cause? But at the moment, the whole thing coming out is think about them and them alone. They're the ones suffering. Don't worry about the policeman who had a spine caved in. Don't worry about that. No. Don't worry about that. Just worry about them and they are the victims. And this whole guilt-tripping thing just goes on. And I'm hoping that the British public can see right through it and just bat it aside.
Yes, before we go any further,
Yes.
Jeff, just like to say, please could you like this video? That's right, you lot out there. Press the like button. If you haven't already, then you're awful rotters you are. Rotters, but you may redeem yourself right about now. So please press the like button. And also subscribe to the Jeff Taylor channel and click the all option. That way you get a notification each time a new video is presented to the world. And that will make you very happy, and in general you'll have a euphoric sense about you. And if you really like what we do on the Jeff Taylor channel, then do it. You know you want to. There's a join button on there as well. Not just a subscribe, join. And that's for the elite class, that is, of Jeff Taylor fans. Yes, you become a channel member for this, all for the price of a pint of beer in a London pub or a coffee in Bath, Jeff.
Yes, a coffee in Bath. Hey, we'll have to go to Bath sometime again, won't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we said we
Yes,
would.
yes,
didn't
we
Said
will.
we'll have a, yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah, around Christmas time, after Christmas. Between Christmas and New Year, we'll do it.
GKSC says, I'm a redeemed rotter. well
Well done,
being a
you.
redeemed rotter.
Well done. Yeah, absolutely.
Rotter's not a zombie, says Bob Mac UK.
That's a good word for a zombie.
Yes.
I have to remember that, the rotters.
Yes. I'm trying to catch up on one or two of these. Which one of you is tripe and which one of you is whatnot? Comes from our second channel, ladies and gentlemen. We do have another channel called Tripe and Whatnot. Occasionally, I put up a short sort of thing or a snippet from this channel over on there if we think it's sort of interesting to other people. Because, yeah. Oh dear, I want to come back on this earth as a Dalek, says Where Eagles Dare. Yes.
Yeah, I do have a photo of me with an actual Dalek from the Doctor Who set somewhere. I'll have to find that and I'll put it on. You can see it.
And it didn't
you'll enjoy
exterminate
that.
you?
No. It was cardboard. Hate to break
Marvellous.
the illusion. Hate to break the illusion, ladies and gentlemen, but it was made of cardboard.
Oh dear.
Bit of plastic.
And John Miles says that Dr. John Campbell exposes this arm intervention using peer-reviewed papers and medical evidence. He does a very, very good job of it. So, and people are just not. This is what gets me, that the
Wonderful
politicians come out with a way of doing things. So we're going to do this to save everybody, even if they have to lie about it to do it. You know, and I think the people are a lot more savvy than they think they are, although some of them are.
And I would like to say as well, if retrospectively watching this video, we neither Jeff nor myself are medical experts. We are very, very clever, though, we'll have you know. But you're not. Or at least we think so. Anyway, so So please don't just take everything we're saying everywhere from the thumbnail, the headline, right the way through the content of this video with a pinch of salt. It's all meant in jest and it's all a metaphor and none of it's real. It's all just, yeah, Jeff, back over to you.
Yes, we're full of metaphors, aren't we?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Politicians are full of but we're full of metaphors.
Yeah.
So it's all okay.
Well, Jeff,
Oh,
I
dear.
think we sort of come to the end of today's
Yeah,
one,
come
be
to an
honest
end of
with
this. Just remember, ladies and gentlemen, do not be guilt-tripped by the government. The government should just be telling us the truth, not guilt-tripping us into everything. This does seem to be the way that we are now meant to run our lives. We're meant to look at something, oh, I'm guilty of that. Oh, I've got to pay more money. Oh, more tax. More people in the country. Oh, because it's all, oh, I'm guilty, you know. Don't believe any of it. It's all a bunch of horse manure.
Yes. Before we go, so Roy FitzX, E3X, your show is a pressure release valve. Absolutely. That's all we are here for. We're a pressure release valve so that all those nasty conspiracy theories out there, so that you can all release all your tension over it and forget about it. So we are actually double agents, and we are part of the machinery of the state. And you have all been duped into following us and watching us. Don't worry about it, though. Just comply and be good citizens, whatever. Jeff.
Yes, and on that little note, I shall say that it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from him. It is goodbye from him, and he is Mr. Jeff Taylor, a living legend. Goodbye.